Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, it's time again for Michael buys another regrettable purchase. Now, I'm going to get this out the way. Unfortunately, the prelude, gone. I had recorded a bunch of footage for its Bon Voyage special and it got deleted. So, kind of fitting in line with the car, but out with the old, in with the new. And I think you're gonna, I know you're probably gonna be a oh, why'd you get rid of it? You put so much work into it. But hear me out. I reckon this new one is gonna tickle that old funny bone. So let's see what we got. Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We have overcommitted ourselves to a pile of shit. Well, if you want the nugs, you gotta play the game. So, I prepared myself for the long journey out to Riverton. It was roughly about an hour and a half drive. Now, to be honest, the car was located in an absolute arse end of nowhere. But if it'd been local, it would have been snapped up instantly. So, to get the deals, you really gotta do the searching. So this is about the journey so far. Basically, the arse end of fucking nowhere. It's come and see South Australia for its bustling landscapes, and we got a couple of cars. Look, there's a fucking bush over there. Oh, look at it. Oh, nature's fifth wonder of the world. Now, the story of me finding this nugget was an interesting one. The weekend prior, I was just relaxing on the couch, and this ad popped up for a AE92 GT Torino. The asking price was $8,000, and that was an absolute smacker of a deal. However, despite only getting in 20 minutes after the ad was posted, Lady Luck did not favour me, and the seller didn't even respond. And I got the notification that next morning the car had been sold. But, and I don't know why, I got the initiative to message him privately. Perhaps, maybe he didn't end up selling it and just wanted to keep it for himself, or at the very least to figure out how late I'd gotten in. After some discussions with him, he did indeed confirm the car had sold, and in record time. But, there was one little comment that caught my eye. Without even seeing the car, I said, yep mate, I'll bloody take it. And so the cycle of Michael purchasing a regrettable vehicle has now started, but that's made of me's problem. So I organised with the seller, instead of him trailing the vehicle back to his house and then me going to have a look at it, why not just take it to my house? I was going to buy it anyway, and it would save a lot of mess around. So I offered to go up and give him a hand with loading the vehicle when it was out in country, and that would actually give me a chance to review the car before I actually purchased it. But let's be honest, I was going to buy the piece of shit no matter what. But we're only 20 minutes off, so we'll get to soon see the car. Anyway, 10 minutes away, we've been at a lovely little town. I don't know what it's called, but it's lovely. We are a minute away. We have arrived at Riverton City. So we're very close. My heart is soaring with the potential of the purchase of another nugget. I will soon see. Done and dusted. So we met with the seller and he directed us to where the car had been sitting for some time, and why do I keep doing this to myself? It's seen better days, hasn't it?
It's only been sitting here.
Yeah, no, that's...
It was parked.
So it was running when it came in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, this is a proper barn.
And then he lost the keys to it, so I think it just stayed where it was and moved on to the next one.
Yeah, right. Interior looks pretty well kept. I mean, a bit in all sorts, but you know, that happens. Yeah, oh look, it's still part of the journey, isn't it? Oh, and something else I forgot to mention, it actually came with a spare shell. Oh, yeah.
It is what it is. But spare parts are hard to come by.
That's what I'm thinking of getting it, stripping it for parts.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bit rusty, so...
Yeah, it's definitely no good to rip it unless you're race cars.
Look at the cannon on it! I could fit my head in that. On those wheels. Oh, that's 2000s. Nah, done deal. Because I bought a AE92, just a sedan with a 4AFE in it. Fuck, I love that car. And then when you said that you had the Levin, I was just like, done. All right, it's fun's over. Now we got to get the car out of the shed. And of course, all the tires were flat and the ground was uneven. So we've got our work cut out for us. Not yet. All right, back. Oh, come on. Doesn't help that the ground's so uneven. Yeah. We're gonna make it out.
I reckon.
Oh, that's my workout for the week.
Yes, we can work with that.
Yeah. We'll get it.
See who they are, otherwise.
So what you doing? I assume you're selling all the other MR2s and stuff?
Probably going to keep the red one for a little while.
Yeah.
Just because my kids like the look of it.
It is. Look, I was never a big fan of these.
Oh, no. And
But-
the SMT transmission, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But that actually looks good with the kit. I actually like that. Although, woo, you got your work cut out, you're back here.
The respray, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just 25 years worth of corded shit and piles of fucking advertisers and Sunday night.
Really?
1996.
My God.
So, yeah.
Jeez. Well, he was half on the money with hoarding some good things.
Yes.
It needs a lot of love. no doubt about it. Yeah, you should have seen the state of the Prelude.
Yeah.
That had been fucked.
True.
That came from 5 hours out of Adelaide. If you want a car like this in the price range that I can afford, you got to put in the wrench time.
Yes.
You got to do it. So straight and then about a meter and turn.
Needed to come out.
Yeah, easy. Oh. Yep. I don't mind pushing, man. I don't care. I reckon that might be the easiest because it's such a weird angle.
If I was there.
Oh, just be careful with the door. It's gonna, yeah.
Just don't want to go too far, otherwise
You lost it.
we get a good chance of a run up on the downward track. We go past.
I'm gonna have to do something about that door. That whole Barnfind thing you think starts to get a cliche, but you guess it's still a thing.
And somewhat less aggressive than the chain.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Just fuck up. What's your place like for access? You've got a beautiful long straight driveway, don't you?
Oh, I'll just put it on the street.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not a difficult thing to do, it's just a difficult thing to do well.
It's horrible shit.
Yeah.
I love how each wheel has only 2 lug nuts on each.
Oh, that's because they're the only wheels that I could find to move it around. Or what?
Oh, really? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like it, yeah. If you want to drive it, fine.
I gotta clean it first. Make sure I'm not sitting in piss. You know, that's Saturday night. That's not during the day kind of activities.
That's the future might problem.
Yeah. You got insurance, right?
No, mate, the key is to have your running shoes on.
Yeah, that's it.
Set it on fire, go home and then make a phone call, say your car's been stolen.
Some shifty bloke from Facebook.
Yeah, it's alright. Mike Fox, that sounds like a dud name.
If you want some, I'll give it you. You want to do with me?
I don't know him, but he doesn't sound like a trustworthy fellow.
Cameras, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
No, me neither.
Fuck me. Oh, it's gonna need some work, but I'm an idiot and I'm cashed up. So let's do it. Alright, now we gotta drive home. We'll see you there. Now it was time to unload the car so we could get to work, and of course we had to unload it during peak hour traffic.
Road far enough there, do you reckon?
Yeah, you'll be alright. God, we picked the worst street and the worst time to do it. They all cut through.
Because I was at school.
School, yeah. There's another one. We good?
Yeah, fucking with the mate.
Oh, shit. So it's pretty slow. That'll do.
Good with that?
Yeah, it's fine. Alright, legend. Cheers to that.
No worries.
Now, I'll get you money. So the dust settled, and we could finally review the absolute mistake that we've just purchased. This is an AE92 Levin GTZ. Part of the E90 series Corolla. This was their sport-orientated model, fitted out with the famous 4AG engine. However, this is the 4AGZE, which denotes the factory supercharger option. Whilst it is sporty and it is the highest trim you could get, it is still a basic E90 Corolla, and there's a large interchangeability with my Holden Nova. From factory, it produced a mouth-watering 121 kilowatts, mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. Now with every car I purchased, this one has seen better days. But with only 115,000 kilometers on the clock, I have high hopes for it. So enough talking, let's get this poor baby cleaned up and restored to its former glory. Reuploaded Gilman, 20th of 2nd, 2012. Rub-a-dub-dub. She came up pretty nice with a good rub. With the wash revealing a very solid base underneath, I was feeling ever more confident in this vehicle's chances at survival. But cosmetics are one thing, the mechanics will need to be attended to. As we said, we actually still had no way to start the car, and we didn't even know what issues it had from there. This car hadn't run for approximately 10 to 15 years, so we're going to have to start at the basics. Fuel tank and pump need to come out. That fuel would have absolutely rusted the tank, because it doesn't actually take that long to happen. After removing the rear seat, I unfortunately found that you couldn't access the pump from inside the car. Why, Mr. Toyota, in your infinite wisdom, were you this stupid? It seems a little silly to me to have to drop the whole tank just to change a pump, but I'm not an automotive engineer. In any case, I was still able to get inside the tank and have a look, and yep, she was gone. Thankfully, not as bad as I thought, but we're here now. It's got to be dropped anyway. We might as well treat it. With the tank now out, we can proceed to remove all the old stale fuel. Now thankfully the rust situation in there wasn't too bad. Mostly surface, no big chunky bits. So plan will be high pressure hose, heavy degreaser and a rust treatment. And now that we've gotten as much out with the high pressure hose and the degreaser, it's time for the rust treatment. Now we only have a litre of this stuff, so essentially what's going to happen is we're going to fill it up and keep moving the tank every hour or so to make sure that every surface is covered. This will take a couple of days, so let's move on to some other jobs. Now I purchased a new ignition barrel with a set of keys and a matching wiring set. Even though we can't get the car started, it'll be nice to know if the engine isn't seized and at least turns over. Now the seller did say it was running, but when it comes to marketplace, do your due diligence, always check.
So I reckon
He blames it on me.
No, I said someone. Yeah.
Someone, no, it was me.
I took 50% of the blame.
It was me.
It was you?
Yeah. Fuck me, right? I was stupid enough to buy another nugget, so...
No, this one will be better.
You say that, and now I'll...
Good point.
If it doesn't work, I don't know you. You'll be dealing with messages from me going, it's not working.
Yeah, I expect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if it was working, I'd still send you those kind of messages.
The key returns all of the shit fuckery from that thing there.
Okay, so turning the thing turns the shit fuckery.
So that goes through there. The key's irrelevant to the power.
Yeah.
Key just stops that turning unless you've got a key. Rotate something inside here.
Yeah.
Which goes from not connecting to connecting a series of these.
Yeah.
That's connected.
Yeah, okay, so it bridges it, makes continuity.
Something needs to turn in.
You know how much he charged me for that?
I'm going to say $5.
He didn't get it, just
nice.
gave it to me.
Alright, so where's that metal, all that metal shit?
Oh, we're in business. So first crank? No, I know, I'm kidding. No, I don't think we should.
No, I'm not planning on to. I don't think that's appropriate.
Well, what is appropriate then? This is a restoration channel, not let's just dick around with wiring for 10 episodes channel.
Or how the tables have turned.
You said I had adoring fans. Well, oh, that was you. You're the adoring fan.
Now, battery is connected?
It is, absolutely.
Okay, we're going to plug this in.
Yep.
Alright, you've now got a switch. I'm going to take, it's irrelevant, this.
Well, now I'm nervous.
You got your camera.
I've got the GoPro, it's on my head and it's filming.
Is it on?
It is. Do you see a red flashing light?
Yep.
Or are you just looking into my eyes?
A bit of both. Turn it to the first one.
Oh, no, you gotta do it. Because if you blow it up, then I can blame you.
Okay, so.
I got fat fingers, mate. Anything?
Clock is on.
Clock is on, okay, so that's accessories.
Wipers are on. And he's on.
Try just putting the indicators on or something. Yep, indicators. Yep. Lights on. Yep. Oh, they have seen not much action.
Go at the back. Right hand.
Yep. Yep.
Taillights.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there's another 13 under that, so.
13.
Or whatever.
No, fuck off, mate.
Now before cracking it, we decided to take out the spark plugs because we didn't actually want any cylinders to fire.
Alright, let me see where my spark plug one is because I do not clean my tools and I don't have a place to put them. That's amore. When Michael buys a nugget and he gets a big pizza pie, something, he's an idiot. Yeah, that's actually they're not terrible. They're definitely used.
And I was told that you should put a little bit of automatic transmission fluid into the cylinder before you crank it, to just make their first movement in a long time just that little bit nicer. I don't know the logic behind it, don't ask me. I was just doing as I was told. So it was now the moment of truth, and we needed to crank it.
Starter. Alright, we're gonna need a new starter then.
Well, unfortunately, the starter motor just wasn't having a good day. First, we tried to bang it a little bit, and it still didn't feel like getting up. And a friend suggested, why don't you just rock the car back and forth while turning the ignition, and that might give it a bit of life.
Tell Wayne when.
Go.
Try now. Fuck. It did it. It fucking did it. Shit. Go. Yeah. Stop. You're turning it.
And there was signs of life. The engine would turn over intermittently. But honestly, having a car that turns over maybe 20% of the time just is a bad news bear situation. So unfortunately, that starter motor is going to need to come out. Removing the starter motor on a 4A series motor is pretty straightforward. The problem is access. The top bolt to the starter motor is easy enough to access. The bottom bolt, however, is tucked right behind the engine with very little means to access.
I got him.
With it out, however, we can now see why it wasn't actually working.
Turns that.
Yeah.
Which in turn, yeah, that's why we're not getting anything. That's seized.
So with the knowledge that the starter motor was seized, time to purchase a new one. And you know what the old saying is.
Out with the old.
With the engine now turning over nicely, it's now time to do the thing that I've been dreading for a long time. Compression test. This will indicate if there's a major issue with the engine. Now, your engine can pass a compression test and still have an issue, but it is a good way to tell if there are any catastrophic failures inside your engine. So, no more stalling. Let's see if we've got a nugget.
Rooster tails, water trails.
So it's cause for a celebration. We have an engine that isn't a pile of shit. We had 145 psi across all cylinders and it was looking pretty healthy. So I can't wait to actually get this thing started. Now with the rust remover inside the tank, it was important that the outside looked just as good as the inside. So it was time to get out the wire wheel and get to work. And now that it had all been stripped back, we're going to use a rust converter and a couple of layers of paint. Came out pretty With all the rust blast out and the tank ready to go, it was time to work on the pump itself because it was not a happy little Vegemite.
You know, at this point it's probably more your car than it is mine. Is that music alright, or do you? It's alright. Sound out. I'll put some stupid stuff over the top.
Oh, guys, check what we're doing. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is the pump all fixed up. With the tank ready to go, it is now its maiden voyage back into the car. With the tank complete and all tucked back into its little sleeping spot, it was time to fill it up with the highest grade of gasoline that would make even a Morton Joe blush. Now if the tank was anything to go by, that fuel filter will absolutely be the same and will need to come out. And it's unfortunately at this point we hit a teensy snafu. Unfortunately, the torque on this thing was out of this world, and I rounded the shit out of it.
Whoa. Oh, it's a bit rounded, mate. Yeah, that one got the beans, didn't it? Oh no.
Now in my defense, there's actually not that much room to get this thing out. It's located on the firewall quite tucked into the engine bay, making access very difficult. And I was using flared nut spanners, so go away with those bloody suggestions. But now that it's done, we're gonna have to drop the lines. And to do that, we're gonna have to drop some suspension parts as well. Thankfully, the job wasn't too bad, and it came out with relative ease. Using the pipe cutter, we cut off the end, and as you can see with the torque wrench here, it really didn't want to come out. Now, as you can see, she was pretty tight, mate, and I don't know how I was expected to pull that one out while I was in the bay.
Fucking eat my ass.
And now we needed to create a new line that we'd just use with flexi hose. And thankfully, mechanical hodor was as helpful as always.
Yeah, okay, yep, got that one.
And we're going to flare the end of that.
Yeah, okay, got that one.
Because the main hard line had been cut, we weren't going to fix it or recreate a new one. Instead, we're going to create a custom fitting on top of the fuel filter and then run a rubber hose between them.
We worked this out to be 8 mil, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we're looking for operation 1, 5/16. There it is, 8 mil.
I think Timu has made it better than ever to be a hot.
You better do it then. Put your hand here. Hold the thing because you'll brace yourself against it. That's it. That's it. Done.
Now, we'd only gotten a small amount of hose as an offcut, and this dipshit forgot to put the nut on when we flared it.
That's what we've got to do.
I don't like what you're about to tell me.
I forgot what we were doing. We're putting an end on this one.
Oh, so we made 2 and we didn't need it.
Yeah, we need 2. We forgot to put the end on.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You did that intentionally, didn't you? I bought you a Coke. This guy.
Yeah, sometimes we all make mistakes.
I'm the one who... Oh, fuck, you're getting back at me.
You forgot to put it on when you flared it.
Can't even do one fucking thing right. Like me. I'm rubbing off on him.
And of course, we didn't have enough hose to do it again.
You want me to do it?
That's right.
Now, this is one of those situations where it's going to require a very delicate and tactile approach to solve this problem.
You know, it'd be funny if we didn't actually put the thread on it again.
Oh, I know. That's why I triple checked it.
Thankfully, though, our solution worked and it went on.
It will be tight.
That's fine. That's what lubricant's for.
With that done, we can now stop getting sidetracked and get this fuel filter back and ready to go.
Michael gazes introspectively into the engine to see what he's done wrong. So it's all connected. Maybe. Guess we'll soon see. Fuel line is looking a bit like a dog's breakfast, but we want to see if it works. Everything's back connected. Sure, I missed something, and I'm sure the engine's going to tell me about it, but I guess we'll send it.
And now, the moment of truth. Everything was reconnected and we were ready to turn the key. And will it work? Oh, fuck knows, really.
There's no positive thoughts when you have nuggets. It's just constantly perpetual state of fixing shit.
Would you like me to cross all my fingers?
No, I've seen you do that and it's weird. Alright, so I'm just gonna put the accessories on.
I was going to turn the key and let the fuel pump prime and see if there were any leaks. However, on this car, it doesn't engage the fuel pump on accessory, only on cranking it. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to send it.
Alright, you ready?
It wasn't leaking.
It just tried to start.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was in fact a great success. Fucking hell, that's a bad meme. Now it was making a weird rattling noise, and I thought it because the sway bar wasn't actually connected, it was just hanging in its bracket. So we tightened it and tried again.
Yep.
What the fuck is that? Clutch? I mean, it backfired, I guess.
But that's what's happened. I'm just wondering why it's backfiring. What's out of... This all works.
Yeah.
It's not leaking. One bit's done.
There's one bit's done. Just reel it out and get it going.
As at this point we realised that we did actually take the intake off, which had a MAF sensor on it. Without that, it would run too rich and cause some problems.
Because, we were equal first or second.
It's a HKS.
Was.
Well, it still is, just not a good one. Oh yeah, look at that. That will eat it.
I guess it's a good idea to put the intercooler back on so it stops pulling in all this air. I guess.
Yeah, wasn't I? You are.
I should know my own car. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What if I told you I've already sold it already? No, I'm kidding. Alright, you ready? Kill it?
No.
No, that died of its own accord that time.
Yeah, okay, so...
Again?
Run it again.
At least it'll be a cool cruiser then.
Definition of cool's quite different to mine.
Wait, it's a Levin. Still a Corolla.
Lemon.
It's not a Levin. You leave the Toyota Corolla alone. Just because it's covered in rat poo doesn't mean it's not cool. Could it be injectors? Maybe one of them's clogged.
Oh yeah, all those things will need.
I mean, should I
To be seen too, but you now know it runs.
Alright, here we go. That wasn't me.
Sounds like, feels like, it's just not getting fuel.
It's like getting starved.
Yeah, it uses whatever, it sort of pumps and then stops pumping. Now, how are we going to test that?
So it was sounding a lot healthier. It would start, but it would die pretty much instantly. And the running theory was it just wasn't getting fuel. We could confirm that it was coming from the tank, so I hadn't butchered my previous repairs, and it was something happening up near the rails.
That fuel pressure regulator looks pretty fucked.
Yeah.
It's pretty rusty. So maybe fuel pressure regulator?
Could be.
No, I was convinced it was the fuel pressure regulator. We figured it'd been asleep for a long time, maybe it just needed a bit of a wake-up call, so we gave it a few love taps.
Ready? Yep.
But unfortunately, when we came knocking, Shit for Brains here did not come answering. That thing properly didn't want to work. So we had a good suspicion of where our next problem was.
Fuel's trying to get into here
Yep.
to then go out here.
Yep.
This restricts through air pressure or vacuum, depending on how much you're accelerating, how much vacuum's being pulled, pulls the diaphragm up to allow less or more fuel to go through. The more fuel that goes through, the lower the pressure, and so that it raises the, because obviously it's supercharged, so you want it to be matched.
So in your expert
Fuel
opinion,
between here and here.
Yeah. Yeah, fuel is coming out of the
Fuel's coming out. The diaphragm in there has split. That's why it's not running for long.
So it shit itself.
I believe that's my gut feel. So we can test. Let's have a look.
You sweat petrol.
Yep. Sweat roll. Yep. See that? How it's spilled out.
I did see that it did give a bit of a jism.
I don't think that's the best thing.
So with that, we came to the conclusion that that fuel pressure regulator was properly dead. It basically wasn't holding pressure, so it would just starve the engine. Now, unfortunately, this led us into a bit of a conundrum. Finding a replacement would not be easy. Searching the part numbers came up with nothing. Considering this vehicle was never supplied locally, the local market was very bare bones. The closest match was an AW11 MR2 supercharged, but unfortunately that has different fittings to this one, so it wouldn't be as simple as putting it on. After doing some research and some measurements, we found that the 4A FE, so basically the standard version of this motor, operates at a similar pressure and is the same fittings with some slight adaptation. It will be our best choice for now until we can find an appropriate replacement. It should hold idling pressure and only give out under boost. But if the internet doesn't lie to me, which it loves to do, the pressure it holds should be similar enough that it won't be a problem. For now, at least. It was off to the wreckers to pinch one from there.
I like how they have to specifically say do not work on the cars in the car park. So I know that's what I would do. Got a new exhaust, they can have the old one. The ID doesn't match, but physically it looks the same.
It's the same, so it'd be different pressure rating.
That's the thing. I'm convinced that the 4AFE is the same.
Yeah.
Whether these Camrys are the same, I don't know. But
What's the camera? Oh, really? Is this just a slightly bigger version of yours?
pretty much.
Yeah, but it's very similar style, isn't it?
Because you've got this one, then you've got the Holden Apollo.
Yes.
Which is...
Yep.
Man, they really don't want you getting this one out, do you? Even before, it's not the same size banjo bolt.
Yeah, that's the same. It's in better condition. There's no liquid coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's much better.
So I grabbed a few different ones. We grabbed one from a V20 Camry, as it had the exact same fittings and I wouldn't need to retrofit, but it would probably have different pressure ratings. While we're there, we also grabbed a 4AFE one from a AE92, because that also should fit and give similar pressure ratings with a minor adjustment to the lines.
Really, we've been here that long. Time flies when you...
I have this in my pocket, by the way.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. See, there's one thing I like about pulling it off wrecked vehicles. You can learn how
Exactly.
it comes out.
Oh, there's a number of times I've come down here just to work out how to pull something out and destroyed it here. Did I say that loud? Destroyed it here so that I didn't have to destroy it at home.
Yeah, look, you're preaching to the choir on that one. Beautiful.
With the parts acquired, it's time to get home and see if we can get this thing working. I also bought some ignition leaves because they were cheap enough and the other ones were looking pretty hairy again. First, I would try the one from the Camry because that had the exact same fittings as my car. So that won't require me to run any custom rubber hose or anything like that. Now with that, it was time to pull the pin on this mamma jamma and have a go. Whilst it was still very rough, it was running better than it had before. That led me to believe that that fuel filter definitely was not a happy little Vegemite. It was at this point I noticed, it smells a bit fuely around here, and it turns out that the Camry one didn't fit because there was a certain little lip on it that caused the fuel to pour out. So we swapped it for the 4AFE one and thought we'd have another go. And with that, it sounded a lot better. It was running properly for the first time. Well, properly, I use in big quotation marks, but it was running and it was staying alive. This car was a runner and she's gonna get the love that she deserves. So this bucket of bolts is now starting and running. We're not going to let it run for too long because we've got a bunch of servicing to do, but we'll do that and then hopefully we'll go for the old how you doing? But yes, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, do all the shit down here. Really, everyone says it helps. I don't know. I don't give a shit. The video's over. Fuck off. I'm done with you. Actually, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Come on. Come on.